Don't be surprised that you see the road bike just behind me on the stairs. This thing will be very helpful today when I'm answering your 9 questions about how to ride up and down the stairs. Let's begin it. Just at the end of this episode, I'm going to answer the last and the 9th question, which will be how to defeat your fear. Welcome you to the outdoor studio then, and I'm going to start answering the questions. I'm going to answer most of the questions you have asked. But some of my viewers, especially on the Polish channel, tried to answer these questions, and the answers were not always the best or the safest way to do it. So, question number 1. Do we damage the bike, the wheels, the fork, the frame or the concrete stairs while riding up and down through the stairs? The answer is no, we don't. Even if you are not really into riding the stairs, and these are maybe your first hours of doing this, you are not really damaging the bike unless you crash. And if you really follow the steps I'm giving you, you will not crash, because you will start with the 1 step, with the 2 steps, with the 3 steps. You're not gonna damage anything. And believe me, riding 30 kilometers per hour through the roots in the forest really pushes your bike further than riding down the stairs. Question number 2. The saddle height. Is it okay to lower the saddle? It is okay. It is even recommended, if you are really beginner in this, to lower the saddle. It will be easier for you to do the technique I'm showing you on the first episode, which is moving the center of your weight just above the rear wheel, so that your bike will be super stable, and then there is no risk going over the bars, even if you brake hard. So yes, lowering the saddle may help. The 3rd question, should we use the clipless pedals or the platforms? I'm using the clipless pedals on both mountain bike and the road bike, but the answer is the platforms are better. These are easier, these will teach you better to feel the bike and to do the right technique. So even though I'm using the clipless pedals, I do recommend starting out with platform pedals. If you are a beginner both to SPD and the stairs, do not use your clipless pedals on the stairs by any means. Question number 4. Should we maybe just unclip the pedals if we are using SPDs when riding down the stairs? Or maybe, and that was one of the answers of my viewers, maybe unclip just on one side. My answer is absolutely not. Do not do it. Riding with your SPD shoes on the SPD pedals being unclipped is super unsafe, because there is no friction between the shoes and these types of pedals, and you have no control over the bike at all. Don't do it. The other viewer said that maybe we should unclip just on one side. Don't do it. This is very dangerous, because then you will just subconsciously try to crash to the side that you have already unclipped, and perhaps you need to balance on the other side. So don't unclip from both, don't unclip from one. If you even think about unclipping, just remove the pedals and put the platforms. Alright, so this is the suicide technique. This will be called suicide technique by me. I cannot just put myself in this situation. How is that possible, to try to learn this technique being unclipped with one leg? For sure, I could try to move just behind the saddle, but if you are unclipped from one pedal, you do it for a reason, right? You wanna use it to support yourself. Now, if I'm supporting myself on the stair, just look at my the centrum of my body weight, where it is. It is way in the front of the front wheel hub. That means no weight in the rear. It will be so easy for me to crash. The other thing is that if I was to try to go down, maybe support myself like this, it will be so easy to crash against the stem, super hurtful and very dangerous. So as I said, riding down the stairs is fairly easy job if you don't use this suicide technique. And the other one would be, if you want to be unclipped from both pedals, this is how it looks like if you ride unclipped with SPD shoe on the SPD pedal. There is no friction there, no control. Don't do it. The fifth question, that was actually one of the suggestions, once more, of some viewers. Why don't we simply jump over 5, 6 stairs or so? I would never recommend doing that. First off, you really need skills in order to jump through some really high object or just jump down from some height. So that's first thing. And the second thing, how many enduro riders, downhill riders, stunt riders do jump on the just flat surface which is made of concrete or tarmac? If you see some really cool jumps on the YouTube, you will see that those guys are jumping and then landing on the slope. Here we have no slope, and I don't recommend doing that. It's possible, of course, some advanced rider will do it. You don't. You are learning just as me. The sixth question, that's the question I don't really know how to answer. It was, what should I do if I have the brakes in my pedals? Well, I've tried this when I was little, so I don't remember how was I doing it. It wasn't certainly 20 stairs, but I would say if you have the brakes in the pedals, that means, or in the rear hub, and that means you probably have some kind of commuting bike or city bike, and your tires will not be suitable for the stairs, and I would just not recommend using that kind of a bike for this kind of technique. Question number 7 is, what should be the pressure in your tires? I'm not talking about the road bikes, mountain bikes. It should be higher than normally, that's the one thing. So if you are putting maybe for MTB 1.8 in the front, 1.9 in the rear, it should be much higher. But the other thing is also that I don't really recommend riding the stairs, especially up the stairs, if you have inner tubes. So tubeless system is the best. I didn't have choice. I had inner tubes on my bikes, and so I got 4 flats. So these were actually 2 flats, but 4 little holes in my inner tubes because of the pinch flats. So tubeless and more pressure than normally, just accordingly to your body weight. Question number 8 is actually a group of questions. It was, Dan, can we ride the stairs on the hardtail, or on the rigid bike, or on the road bike? The answer is yes, you can. I do not recommend using a road bike. This is dangerous. Don't do it if you're not professional rider like me. So I'm serious, don't do it on the road bikes, don't do it on city bikes or any kind of bikes with a narrower tire. It will be much easier for you to pinch flat or even destroy your bike or just crash. This is just not good. But as far as you have 2.0, 2.1, I've got 2.25 width of the tire on my Merida 96, you're good to go on even a rigid bike. The mountain specific tires will be just good enough for this type of riding. Question number 9 and the last one is how to defeat your fear. I'm going to show you just in a second how to do it, but very important thing is how not to do it. And I would say do not defeat your fears. You've got the fear for a reason. The fear will tell you maybe your bike is not capable of doing this. Maybe you are not capable of doing this. So I never go over the limit of my fears. Some of you pretty often write in the comments just below my videos that if we don't defeat the fear, we will not progress. Well, let me show you how you can really progress and how you can do it in the safe way. Yes, I've been doing that on the road bike. Don't do it. I just have a road bike with me today. Do it on the mountain bike, BMX, or any type of suitable bike for this type of technique. But I hope I just showed you that this is really easy, safe way, and in my opinion, that's the best way of learning any technique.